Okay, so this video is going to be a real short one, and it's something that we've already kind of done already, but it seems like a few people are kind of struggling with it. So the next thing we want to do is we want to just be able to start our game. So we've already got our kind of menu in place. At the minute, we've just, in terms of scripting, we've just got it doing a print string. So the next thing we want to do is actually be able to transition between these kind of menu levels that we've set up and an actual game that we can kind of demo. So I'm inside the main menu here. If I hit play, I've got obviously the button set up here. If I click on start at the minute, it's just giving me a print string. So from there, what I want to do is I want to open up the menu that I'm kind of working on there. So I know that it's called second menu. So here, so these are buttons that I've made in Unreal. They've obviously just been kind of given a visual appearance using some images, but you could have standard buttons here and you could have text. Everything will work the same. So from here now, we want to put some script in place. So I click on a graph editor and I'm going to get rid of this and we're going to do it from the start. Okay, so when I click on the start button here, down the very bottom in the details panel, we've got different options here. So we can kind of call on things. So we can say when it's clicked, we want to do something. When you release it, we want to do something else. When it's hovered, we want to do something. So you can do more advanced stuff here. So we could have it that whenever you hover, you know, maybe something happens in the background of the level, or maybe some animation happens, or another widget appears on screen, or a canvas gets displayed. But for now, we just want to work on just getting this basically up and running. So we want to say on clicked, and it'll make like a new event. So before this, I had just a print string in place, but what we want to do now is we want to open a level. So if I pop back into my main content browser here, and I just want to go back to the content, and I want to filter down by level. So I know that I've got like some default kind of levels in place here. So I don't want to have to remake everything from scratch. So I'm just going to use the first person example map. Now this is a handy way I find. If you right click on this, go to rename and copy it. So just Control and C on your keyboard. Now we're going to get the name of this 100% right. So if we drag off back into our second menu, event graph here, if we drag off and we say open level, and now if I just paste in there, so what'll happen now is whenever we click on the start button, it'll open up this level. So if I hit compile, we'll pop back in here and go to play. So we already know if we click on there, it'll do this camera transition. We can click on back. We know that our quit button works, but now we want to click on start. And you see now it's loaded us into a game. Now on this map, on this level, sorry, you notice that that widget started appearing. So we just take a quick look on this. I'm going to make sure I save selected. And I want to just make sure that I've not, So on event begin play on this map, in an earlier lecture, I was demoing this, so we want to get rid of that. Because basically what that was doing, it was putting another widget on screen. Apologies if you heard like my email chiming off there in the background. So now if we go back to it, and this is where it gets a little bit kind of confusing, a little bit muddled, because we're kind of having to move between levels to test stuff out. So we hit play, click on our start button. There we go. It loads us into our first person template map. So that's real quickly, just a real quick introduction into how we can get it to open up a map. And I know it's something that a couple of people said they were struggling with this week. So I thought I just covered it in a really, really short video. So then the next video now, what we're going to do is we're going to start inside that first person template map. We're going to start adding in some type of HUD elements. So some type of heads up display. So we'll look at some progress bars, then we'll look at some text elements and stuff like that. And then we'll look at some kind of button prompts as well.